I believe you can all hear me. Can you just confirm that you can? You can just give me like a thumbs up to confirm. Can anyone hear me? Okay, great. Thank you, David. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Wisdom. Great. All right. I believe we had an amazing day so far. Thank you for taking time out to join us on today's webinar, where we are going to be talking about transitioning to cloud computing from any background. So I believe that it's going to be an insightful session tonight, especially for those who probably have been in a different background and you've been hearing about cloud computing, you've been hearing about it a lot, and you're like, what is this buzzword all about? So tonight, we have our host on the call. She is going to be talking to us about how you can get a transition to cloud computing from any background at all, whether you're coming from an engineering background, whether you're coming from maybe tech background, but not cloud computing specifically, right? So tonight we are going to be talking about that, and we really want you to pay attention and also get to invite your friends as well to join the call. You can still extend these invitations to your friend, your colleague, your network. Basically, just share the link with them to join the call. So it will be great if you can have this number go up much more than it is currently. So please and please just ensure that you share this with your friends, your network, get them to join the call. It's going to be an amazing session tonight, especially for those who've been hearing about cloud computing and you're probably wondering if it's something you can also transition into. So we really, really want you to share this link with people, get them to join the call before we get started, because we're going to be starting in few minutes. So please get people to join the call tonight. It's going to be an amazing one. Okay, so while we're doing that as well, this is also for us to take note of that if you have any question, we are going to be dropping the link to the Slido that you can use to put in your question there so that we don't get to miss out on any question, because pasting it directly in the chat box, we might have to, sometimes we get to skip through all of these things, not intentionally, but sometimes the messages would go up and we might lose some of your questions. So please ensure that you use the Slido link to drop in your question, whatever question that you have, put it in the Slido link. We would put that link up very shortly while we have our speaker on the call. All right. So without further ado, okay, yes. So that's the invitation. That's the link for you to share with your friends to join the call as well. So without further ado, we're just going to be getting straight into what we have for tonight. And right about now, we have our speaker on the call. This is somebody some of you all might already know. She is the founder and the CEO and also a cloud DevOps professional in person of Gbemisola Ojo. And she's going to be talking to us about how you can transition to cloud computing from any background. And right now, I'm just going to be handing over to Gbemisola to take over from here. Over to you, Gbemi. Good to have you on the call.
Hello. Hello, everyone. Good evening. I hope you can hear me and I hope you can see me. Good evening. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me and you can see me. All right. Amazing. Some of our students are on the call. It's good to see you. Okay. So I feel like this is going to be like a small, close-knit interaction since we have few on the call. So hopefully we should be able to get right to meet everybody at the point of their needs. So it's amazing to meet you all, and I'm going to be getting started shortly. So can you confirm if the introductions have happened already? People have told us their names, where they're joining us from. It's always good to know. Just give me a thumbs up if that has happened already, or we should quickly do that.
Yes, I think we can quickly do that.
Okay, so that hasn't happened yet. All right, so give us your names and where you're joining us from in the chat box, please. We want to get to know you so that we can, let's get to know you. Your name and where you're joining us from. Your name and where you are joining us from. Your name and where you are joining us from. Can we see your responses, please? Your name and where you're joining us from. Who will be the person to go first? Your name and where you're joining us from. All right, thank you. Victoria is from Reading. You are welcome. Who else? Adini from UK. Okay, amazing. Martins from London. Okay. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Oh, Mukwili from Zimbabwe. Wisdom from Buckinghamshire. Amazing. You are welcome. Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Let's see. Please don't be shy. Let us get to know you. Okay, don't worry. That's fine. I think we already have, okay, we have a number of people. That's fine. So that's fine. We'll carry on. We'll carry on. Okay, Evans from Kenya. Beautiful. So you can see that we actually have people from our class over here. Okay, David from Luxembourg. Amazing. You're probably the first person I know from that nation. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome, everyone. Okay. So we're just going to get started now. I don't know if anybody else told. I can see David. You're welcome, David. You haven't told me where you're from. Okay, David is one that said Luxembourg. Forgive me. Okay, that's fine. Is there any other person I can quickly call out? Because we're few on the call, so I think we can make it. Okay, that's fine, no problem. Feel free to introduce yourself as the conversation goes on. So let me go right into the gist of today's Friday night, and I know that we want to hear Tom from Qatar. You see why introduction is good? You see why introduction is good? I mean, look at people, look at where we're from, right? Okay, that's fine. Thank you for letting us know, no problem. So tonight, I am going to be sharing with you how you can transition into cloud from any background that you currently are, right? I have a lot to share with you as much as possible. I always like it when it's interactive. So if you have any questions, feel free to use the Slido link in the chat box, okay? Transition to cloud computing from any background. It's going to be a short one, okay? I have Mahadi Adamu from Kano State, Northwestern Nigeria. You are welcome. You are welcome. All right. So transitioning to cloud computing from any background, okay? So whatever background you are right now, you'll probably fall into the category of the people I'm going to describe today. And even if I don't call out your field specifically this evening, I want you to know that whatever field you are, you can still relate to some of the things I'm saying. So please keep an open mind all through. My name is Gbemisola Ojo. I'm the founder of Cloudboosta Academy, and I'm a certified AWS solutions architect. I've been in this space for over 8 years now, and it's been such a rewarding field, right? I am a wife, a mother, a mentor. I'm passionate about everything that has to do with women, technology, and the kingdom. I'm primarily based in the UK. Okay, so let's go. Does this sound familiar to anyone? Just give me a thumbs up, or you say yes in the chat box, right? You can say yes, or you give me a thumbs up. Does this sound familiar to anyone? Like, are you somebody that you feel like your salary has not moved in years? If that is in you, please give me a thumbs up. Are you somebody that you feel like you've been working hard, but it's not adding up, right? Are you in the UK, US, Europe, or even in Nigeria? But the opportunity that you moved to another country for has still not come through for you. Give a thumbs up if that is you. Or are you somebody who has been watching others land high-paying tech jobs and you wonder if that could be you again? Give me a thumbs up. Are you somebody who has thought about learning tech, but you assumed it wasn't for somebody like you? Please give me a thumbs up, because tonight is going to change that. I can see a number of thumbs up. Tonight is going to change that. So who is this conversation for? People that are thinking that you want to seek a change. You're a professional who wants to change. People, if you feel like you're currently in a low-paying job, you don't have a technical background, and you want something better, then the conversation tonight is for you. Also, if you're an African immigrant, right? You're tired of survival wages. You're tired of working jobs below your potential. You are someone who is looking to get visa sponsorship. This conversation is for you. Also, if you're somebody who is planning to relocate, you don't want to relocate and then go and start doing jobs that you don't want to do, right? If you're somebody who wants to gain a valuable skill, or you're just seeking better opportunities, whether it is at home or abroad, this conversation is for you. So let's get into the gist. Let's do a quick reality check. Do you know that according to recent statistics, approximately 23% of workers across the globe actually have 2 or more jobs. And this is including side hustle, right? Some people have their 9 to 5, but they have side hustle, right? With 61% of individuals holding 3 or more jobs, reporting that they still struggle to cover their expenses. Do you know that 60% of workers globally still live paycheck to paycheck? And do you know that about 70% of working professionals feel stuck with no clear path forward? If that sounds familiar, it's not to look down on this current situation, it's just for you to know that things can change. The numbers don't lie. Another quick reality check. Do you know that this field of cloud computing and DevOps, you know that we actually have roles that are available globally? You can actually get jobs in UK, Canada, US, remotely, globally, if you actually learn the right skills. And I'll tell you what that is about today. Also, I want you to know that there is still a very critical skills gap. That's another reality check. 37% of IT leaders identify DevOps as their top talent skills gap. 20%, there's a 20% gap between open DevOps roles and qualified professionals. And 68% of IT teams now have upskilling programs, up to 30% in 2026, because the skills gap is seen. This is my field, and I've seen this play out many times in my field, where there are people that are actually taking on jobs as cloud DevOps engineers, but they don't have the requisite skills. But those are the people that are available. And if you're thinking that I want to transition and are there opportunities out there, I'm here to tell you, yes, there are opportunities out there, but you need to fill this skills gap before you can get there. And that's what I'm going to be talking about tonight. Right, companies are searching for the right talents with limited qualified professionals. There are unprecedented opportunities for those who want to get trained. Now, what if transitioning to cloud DevOps could change your career currently? It could change your current reality. We already talked about the reality that you're facing today, right? Do you know that in cloud DevOps, you can actually have a starting salary from £50,000 to £90,000? Yeah, even, mid-level, senior level, entry level, you can have up to £35,000. And that's the reality of people that have finished from our program. Do you know that there are remote job opportunities, right? You're not having, some people actually come to meet us and tell us, I want to transition simply because I don't want to keep working. I don't want to keep doing the same jobs over and over. I don't want to have to keep going into the office and working and working. I don't want to experience that. So some people actually come because that's the challenge, right? And with cloud computing and DevOps, you can actually get remote opportunities that are available globally. Do you know that there are visa sponsorship opportunities within the field of cloud computing and DevOps? There are actually opportunities that can sponsor your visa. I always say I've always been on visa sponsorship all through my career, right? Do you know that there are actual career growth opportunities, not just empty promises in this field? Of course there are. Do you know that you can do work that values your skill and potential? Yes, it is possible. So let's get into the meat of the conversation. Why should you transition into cloud DevOps? We can't just tell you that, oh, leave what you're currently doing without really understanding that there are opportunities where we're telling you to come into. The first thing I want you to think about is that within the field of cloud computing and DevOps, you'll find because there are organizations who are looking for highly skilled professionals who have the skills. They are willing to upskill. They are willing to invest in your upskilling. So that means that, of course, you're not going in empty, right? You go in with having some level of knowledge, and then organizations can actually invest in even training you for that. Because you know that one of the things that people complain about when it comes to job satisfaction is that, I'm in this role, I'm not growing. I'm not growing. And it's not even just about salary growth, it's about people not growing as individuals. Sometimes we think that when we're in situations where we have it easy, we find it fun, but there are times that you get bored when you're just on the same level. So upskilling investment happens when you are in a field like this. Cloud DevOps is #1 most recruited tech role right now. 29% of IT teams have recently hired a DevOps engineer, topping the roles being recruited for. So that's a very good opportunity right there for you. There's premium salary available in this field, which I've talked about. There are multiple career ladders and pivot opportunities. There's 21% job growth, faster than almost every other profession, and there are huge global growth opportunities ahead. In Cloud DevOps, if you've been following us for a while, you know that we usually have a conversation with our community every week. And I think it was 2 weeks ago that we talked about AI, right? In cloud, you can AI proof your career, because the rise of AI also means the rise of cloud computing, where the infrastructure that AI runs on, amongst many other things. Within this field, there are remote and flexible job opportunities, and there's critical skills gaps which are still not being filled yet. Now, Cloud DevOps is not just a career choice, it's an opportunity for you to actually build your wealth. You want to make sure that the income that is coming in is already large enough for you to now say, okay, let me take this income and go and invest it. Of course, people are encouraged to have multiple streams of income, but your 9 to 5 is also a stream of income that you can significantly leverage on to build more wealth, right? And that is, so it's a very strategic decision. In 2030, where do you want to be? Right, you're thinking about where you are right now. You're like, I'm not really enjoying where I am. The question I asked you at the beginning, you're not really enjoying where you are. You're currently at a point in your career where you're like, I'm stuck. I'm seeing people transition into tech. I also want to do it. I want you to think about it. In 2030, where do you want to be? If you're someone who is worried about AI taking over your job, then this is a field that you should consider. You're thinking, how can I start working remotely? This is a field that you can consider, because cloud computing, like I said, were the ones that build the infrastructure that powers AI, and many other things, many other advantages that I will still talk about. Okay, so please keep coming with me. Let me tell you what cloud computing and DevOps is, and then I'll tell you how your current skills are actually relevant if you want to transition. Cloud computing is the delivery of computing services, right? Server, storage, databases, networking software over the internet instead of using local computers. I want you to think about it like a Netflix, right? You don't need to own the storage space for your favorite movies and TV shows. Imagine if all the movies on Netflix, you were only limited to having it on your laptop. Your laptop won't be able to take it, no matter how large your laptop is. So instead of you having all those movies that you want to watch right on your computer, all those movies are available on Netflix. They are available on Amazon Prime. So anytime you want to watch a movie, you just go and log in into one of these platforms and you watch your favorite movie. You're not having to deal with, where do I store all those large amounts of movies? And when you get tired of a movie, you just don't watch it again, right? And that's how it is. So you can log in from anywhere. As long as you have credentials to your Netflix account, you can log in and watch your movie. And that's what cloud computing simply is for individuals and for organizations. There are 3 major cloud providers. We have AWS, we have Microsoft Azure, we have Google Cloud Platform. Some of the advantages of running on the cloud is scalability, right? You can instantly scale up resources up or down based on demand. Just like I said, I mean, Netflix can never run out of space because they actually run on the cloud. And no matter how huge the amount of movies or the size of movie is, because they run on the cloud, it just continues to be elastic and accommodated. There's cost efficiency on the cloud as well. Netflix, who is a customer of a cloud provider, AWS, right? They only pay for exactly what they use on AWS. And then with cloud computing, you have global access to your data from anywhere. Imagine, right? Netflix will tell you that anywhere, even if you go to the US, you can still log into your Netflix wherever you are. And that's exactly how life on the cloud is. When we talk about DevOps, what does that exactly mean? It's simply a culture change that combines development and operations to create faster, more reliable software delivery through automation. I always tell people, through automation, collaboration, and continuous improvement. Anytime you log into your favorite app and you've seen an application update on that app that you did not know how it came, it is most likely an efficient DevOps process that has worked behind the scenes to make that happen. And a common example, which many of us are familiar with, is WhatsApp, right? They release changes every now and then. You don't even know when the change has happened. You just check your WhatsApp and see that there's a new feature. It is DevOps engineers that work behind the scenes to make sure that, you know, changes to your software are delivered faster and it doesn't break your code base. Okay, so to bridge the gap between software developers and IT operations, that's actually where the coinage, the word DevOps has come from. DevOps engineers automate processes, they manage cloud infrastructure and ensure that they run smoothly 24/7. There are many elements of DevOps. Some of it is CI/CD. some of it is infrastructure as code, some of it is monitoring and analysis, and there are many tools that DevOps engineers use. Again, you don't need to have learned what all these things are. All I want you to know is that DevOps is the modern way of delivering software that will continue to be within this intelligence age that we are in, combining your skills, understanding cloud computing, understanding DevOps delivery, which runs on the cloud. You're able to set yourself up to actually build a successful career in technology, leveraging the skills that we teach at Cloudboosta, which I'll talk about. So now let's focus more on you, right? Let's focus on you. How can you move from where you are right now? How can you actually, because that's the meat of the conversation we're having today. We're saying that you actually already have skills that you can use and leverage in this world of cloud computing, whether you're from a non-tech background or a tech background. So if you're thinking, how can I move from where I am? Like I said, I don't need to have mentioned your field, right? But I want you to be able to connect to some of the fields that I'll be highlighting tonight and see how you can transfer your current skills where you are into this world of tech, specifically the world of cloud computing and DevOps. So let's take a look at how your current skills are relevant. How can we actually, if you want to move from where you are right now into the cloud, you must transfer a number of your existing skills. Yes, you need to build your technical proficiency, but there's some of your skills you have right now that have to be just lift and shift it into this world of cloud computing. Let's talk about it. So now, the truth is that most people miss the fact that you already have the right skills, but you don't know it yet. Let me give you an example. If you're currently a project manager, right, you're used to coordinating moving parts. You're used to ensuring that everything fits nicely together. This can be applied in the world of DevOps, pipeline and release management. As a DevOps engineer, you're actually integrating development teams and operations team, ensuring that there is proper synergy and software is delivered fast. And if updates are made to the software, it doesn't break the code and it doesn't break the devices, right? So as a project manager used to coordinating moving parts, that can be applied in the world of DevOps. Are you a nurse or a healthcare professional? You're used to managing different processes. You're used to working under pressure. You're used to having to quickly document. In fact, I've spent quite a number of time in the hospital. So I know I've seen nurses when they, quickly make documents, they quickly make a record, they're bringing out your case note. There's a lot of documentation that happens in the healthcare world. Sometimes they even get very, very much into significant amount of details, depending on the criticality of the care that these healthcare professionals are administering to the patients. I've been in NICU for many months, right? I've been in NICU, and sometimes I just look at how much details that nurses and healthcare professionals get into. They have to manage the concentration of this fluid, they have to manage this oxygen level, they have to manage this. So if a healthcare professional, thumbs up to you, man. But if you decide that you want to transition into this field, your level of attention to detail, your ability to work under pressure, the fact that you have to document, the fact that you have to quickly respond. Oh God, the number of emergencies that happen. Oh, healthcare, Bill, man, hi. Yeah, nice to meet you. I'm glad to know that we have healthcare professionals here, right? So the amount of documentations that you have to do, the fact that you have to respond very quickly to incidents is like, honestly, that's another thing I really always commend healthcare. Like, things will just all of a sudden go unplanned. And you see them, they know what to do. They've been trained for it. That is how it is. Like, if you can handle human lives, how much more technology systems, right? If you can handle, okay, we have an accountant here. Nice. Adamu, nice to meet you again. I remember you're currently based in northwestern Nigeria, to be precise. Anyway, yeah, so healthcare professionals handle pressure, right? They respond very quickly to incidences. They usually have, they respond very quickly to emergencies. In the world of tech, we call that incident management, right? How you respond to it, because there are times that, imagine one day you're watching Netflix and all of a sudden everything just goes black. Do you know, some of you are already, you're always on your Twitter. You're always, you'll be the first to say, hey, Netflix, blah, blah, blah. I paid this, and imagine if it doesn't even come up on time, so tech systems also can fail, and they require fast response, because the reputation of that organization is at stake if they don't respond very quickly. So what typically happens is that if you can handle pressure with human lives, you're having to take care of a sick patient, or you're having to look after an elderly person, or you're within the vulnerable space, or you're dealing with children, you're a nurse, you're dealing with people who are critically ill, you have to be able to manage that pressure that this person's life is at stake. If you can do that, how much more? This is tech system, it's not human lives, it's just the business reputation that is at stake. So you can literally transfer that calmness, being able to properly respond under pressure, being able to respond very quickly to incidents, keeping a cool head and focusing on how to solve the problem. Some people actually get, some people get put off balance once things don't go according to plan, right? But if you're a healthcare professional, you're used to that. Now let's move on to our accountant. Thank God we have an accountant here, right? For the accountants, or you're in finance, again, you pay a lot of attention to detail. Those numbers have to add up. The account has to balance. There's a lot of auditing that happens within the audit space, professional services space, accounting space. You have to pay attention. Those numbers have to add up. And I feel like sometimes accountants also go through a lot of pressure, particularly when it's end of the year and you have to do end of the year finance for your organization. You have to do you have to collate everything that has gone on in financial. There's always a lot of pressure, right? Attention to detail, all of that. You can apply it into the world of cloud, in the space of cloud cost management, cloud compliance. Cost management is becoming a big area. We call it FinOps in the world of cloud, and it's becoming a fast growing area. We need to constantly validate and ensure that organizations that are moving into cloud are getting the most value out of the cloud, and they're also actually saving cost. Sometimes if organizations don't have the right cloud professionals to help them do their migrations from data center into the cloud, what happens is that sometimes they now find themselves in a situation where the cloud that is meant to save them money is now costing them, not because cloud is bad, but simply because they have not built their infrastructure properly on the cloud. This is where you guys come in, right? Where you build the right skills. So you can actually go into cloud FinOps. You can go into cloud cost management. You can deal with, if you have a background in audit, you can deal with things like compliance. Compliance is a huge deal in the world of cloud DevOps. Like, it is such a huge deal, because as much as we think that, we're just sitting out at home and building systems anywhere globally, that is true. But as they are building those systems, there are laws. If you want to deploy an application for people that are primarily based in the UK, there are GDPR laws that guide that. And just by you have to make sure you're clicking the right buttons on your cloud platform to ensure that you're not deploying UK data into South Africa or somewhere else that is not permitted. So there are tech laws that have to be, and that also applies to lawyers, right? People that are currently in law, there is a lot of governance that happens in this space. There's a lot of compliance that happens in the world of tech, of which you can apply your background to be a very competent cloud DevOps professional. Another field I would like to talk about as I begin to wrap up, like I said, I'll go straight to the questions once I finish, right? Another field I like to talk about is teaching. That is me. I actually used to be a teacher. I absolutely love teaching. So if you're a teacher or you're a trainer, you know how to break down complex things that are complex. You know how to break it down into bite-sized chunks that people can relate with. Then you can apply that into, I'm applying my teaching skills right now, because I'm into, of course, I use my teaching skills at work when I have to prepare documentations on what I've done. See, the thing is that sometimes people that don't have another background and they just grew up in this world of computer science, some of them don't have the skills I'm highlighting for you guys, because all they've been doing, right, is sitting down in front of the computer and debugging and bugging and debugging and trying to find out what the problem and the code error is. But those of us that have come from different fields into the world of tech, we are able to bring all of the skills I'm talking about, and then we now layer it with technical skills. So it just takes us to another level, and your own perspective that you bring to the job is so different. So breaking down complex stuff. So if I do a complex deployment at work right now, I don't struggle to explain it to people who are not technical, because I'm using my skills as a teacher, as somebody who used to teach year 8 maths in Ikeja 10 years ago. I see some of my students online and they're like, they've all grown up. I used to teach year 8, I used to teach GSS2 maths, right, about 10 years ago, before I got into this world of tech. So I remember how I used to think about, oh my God, how do I make math exciting? People just have a wrong mindset about math. How do I make math exciting for people to actually, understand, that relate to? So that's the same way. I'm like, if I'm doing no matter how complex the migration I've done is, or no matter how, you would always have stakeholders who don't understand the nitty-gritty of technicality. So you have to be able to break down complex concepts in a way that people can understand, whether you're writing documentations or you're giving presentation or you're explaining your experience to junior developers or junior professionals. So this is where your experience as a teacher, as a trainer comes in. You can easily mentor younger engineers when you are bringing your background as a teacher or a trainer. Another career path that you can easily use in the world of cloud is customer support. If a customer support professional at any level, or you answer calls for, GiveGaf, or you answer calls for Vodafone or Virgin Atlantic Airways or wherever, every field right now has customer service. Even though they say, AI, there's a lot of AI automation happening in that space, which is why you should leave customer support if you're still there, because there's a lot of AI automation. But truly, there are still times that me personally, I don't know if you guys are like me, anytime I see all those chat box, I always like, please, can I speak to a human being? Even when it's on the phone, sometimes they make it sound like a human, but I want to talk to a human being. So if you're still in that field, right, and you're still handling customer support, you're used to problem diagnosis, you're used to escalation, you're used to helping customers, who are agitated, under pressure, rushing. You're used to calming them down and telling them, okay, let's solve the problem this way. You can apply this in the world of cloud computing by being in site reliability, handling a lot of troubleshooting. As a senior developer, you're going to be troubleshooting. Even at any level, there's always going to be a lot of troubleshooting. So just being able to have that cool head and being able to go into troubleshooting without putting yourself under pressure and still being able to solve the problem. You can directly apply your skills as a customer support or customer service professional into this. So like I said, if you're currently in the field, truly, there's going to be a lot of AI disruption. I mean, we see it already. Many customer care representatives are being replaced by AI. So you can begin to now, you can bring that skill into the world of tech, into the world of cloud DevOps. There's only so much that AI can troubleshoot for you. And another thing that is beginning to give us a lot of concern in the world of tech is how much of my information, of my company information, am I going to have to feed into AI to debug? Right, and AI is going to now form my own confidential data and is going to use it as part of his own foundational model and all of that. So there's still a lot of risk. We just chunking your confidential data right into AI to do troubleshooting. So you can actually learn the skills and know how to troubleshoot, so you can transfer your customer support skills. Also, if you're in the world of retail, surely your supply chain thinking efficiency, you can directly apply this to infrastructure building. There's an area of DevOps that we call infrastructure as code. Is one of the elements of DevOps, right? And there's a lot of it that happens. In fact, with this, you can become a cloud platform engineer. We have a learning pathway for this. So as a retail or logistics professional, you want to be able to, you can actually transfer your skills because you're thinking of logistics. How is it efficient? How do we cut down the number of processes within the, within the supply chain? All of those things are actually applicable in the world of cloud DevOps, particularly in infrastructure provisioning, infrastructure automation, and all of these things are things that you can learn from scratch. So you can see that cloud DevOps is not completely a foreign world for you. The thinking patterns and professional skills that you've built in your career actually map directly into this field. Are we together? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up if we're still together. Now, I want to get to know, what fields are you guys in? Can you tell me what field you are? Let me know what your fields are, so that if I've not spoken about your field, let's see if I can chip in one or two things about your field. What field are you guys in? Tell me in the chat box. What field are you? Tell me your field. Some of you already mentioned it when I was speaking. Some of you have not told me as what field are you currently in. I know some of us are in healthcare, some of us are in accounting. If you feel comfortable, so okay, so is in real estate. Oh, beautiful. Real estate, customer service. So Rosie, look at that. So you can definitely apply what we said. So in the world of real estate, of course, there is a lot that you can apply. You know, there's a lot of planning that goes into real estate. There's a lot of, you know, strategic thinking that goes into real estate that you can apply in the world of. I feel like being able to just you know, break things down, being able to have that ability to learn and unlearn and relearn, you can actually, you know, pick up the skills. Biomedical scientists elaborated, that's similar to the things I said about healthcare as well. You can surely apply. Robotics, you're already in this world of tech, so all your skills around, you know, how to create robots, how to you know, all those things, robotic process automation, all of that, the thinking is the same. Engineering, I came from an engineering background as well. You know, of course, if you're an engineer, you're already used to solving complex problems, right? Troubleshooting, breaking things down. You've already done a lot of maths growing up. You've done a lot of physics, even though you're not going to be doing maths and physics directly in the world of cloud, but the thinking process, how you approach problem. I think for everyone, that problem solving ability applies across board, right? In any field you are, you're solving problems. You're having to think through a problem. You're having to create a solution. You're having to think outside the box. All of this is very relevant to this world that we are speaking about. Thank you for sharing your different skills. So now, if you have decided that you want to transition into cloud, right? Some of you really want to go into this field. Some of you are still thinking about it. But I just want to tell you a bit more about this world of cloud. If you really want to go and transition into this field and you want to get a job, in order for you to get a job, you need to build your technical competency in addition to all of the soft skills that I've already spoken about, which is so important and so relevant. You also need to build your technical competency as well. And how do you do that? To build your technical competency, you need to attend a structured learning bootcamp. You know, sometimes people actually get stuck in any of this. I don't want you to get stuck in any of these things. You're trying, some people get stuck in, you know, self-study. Some people get stuck in trial and error method. You know, some people get stuck in traditional degree. You're thinking that this is what I've learned from university and that's all that there is to life. There is a lot more. People get stuck in random certifications, head knowledge without practical competence. You know, that is not going to help you get into this world that we're speaking about, right? In order to build your technical competency, there are 3 foundational things you need to do from a mindset perspective. The first thing is that you have to have that ability to fail forward. If you want to transition into technology, failing is going to be a part of your learning journey, because think about it, you guys are from engineering background, you studied robotics, you studied different courses entirely, and now you want to get into this world of cloud, right? So you're going to have to fail forward. You're going to have to adopt the mindset that there's no problem with failing. I mean, for me, I remember getting into the job and having to deal with so many. I had to just say that I failed a lot when I first got into my career because my background is different, but thankfully, the bosses I had, and for us at Cloudboosta, we try to provide that mentorship as well for people who are coming in newly. There will be failures, but it's very common. You just have to keep learning and growing and not making the same mistakes again, right? To build your technical competencies, you need to be curious and pay attention to details. In tech, small mistakes or oversights can have serious consequences. To build a technical competency, you need to have that collaborative and adaptability mindset, because tech is always changing. So it's crucial for you to adapt and learn new technologies, first as an individual and then next as a team, right? So secondly, to build your technical proficiency, you need to audit your career visibility. This is important, right? So you have to audit your career visibility after you've decided to build a technical competence. The next thing is that you need to audit your career visibility. So you need to be confident and show the hiring manager that they need you and become a magnet for recruiters. So this is after you have gone ahead, you've leveraged your soft skills, you've added your soft skills, you've added technical competency, right? You've adopted the right mindset. The next thing you need to do is to actually go ahead and audit your career visibility. It's not so much about you having the right soft skills and now you've gone ahead to attend a boot camp, you have the right technical skills. The next step is you have to be visible. So recruiters have to see you. Some of you, you've probably even done a training like this before, but you've not gotten a job. How visible are you? Somebody asked me that question, I think it was last webinar. How visible are you? What does your LinkedIn profile look like? Do you attend events? Have you joined communities? Do you write blogs about what you know so far? These are things that will help to build your career visibility. You also need to ace your interviews. It is first from your visibility that interviewers will now reach out to you and tell you that, oh, we want you to come for this interview. So by the time you get interview opportunities, you need to go ahead and ace your interview. How do you ace your interview? Leverage your soft skills. Talk about your background. See, even if you're entering into the world of tech, I remember there was somebody that finished with us at Cloudboosta, and she said that when she was talking about the interview, you just look at it like, look at you study so background, right? And then you've gone ahead, you've got to learn tech, you've done this boot camp with Cloudboosta and all of that, and we see a track record of you. If you are able to transition successfully from the field you are into this tech and you've done your certification, you're doing well, we're willing to give you a chance because now you're demonstrating a growth mindset and not a fixed mindset. You're demonstrating that if we throw you into another challenge at work, you can actually do it well. So these are things that recruiters want to do. See your journey. So your journey is not wasted. Whatever your skill is right now, robotics, engineering, customer service, talk about your whole journey as part of leading stuff. Your story is being built up to actually get that role that you desire. Of course, you have to provide a portfolio during your interviews as well. And these are some of the things that we help you with at Cloudboosta. You show, hands-on projects you've worked on. You need to demonstrate technical competency, like we said. You can actually build, you can deploy this on the cloud, you can do this, you have to be able to demonstrate that. You need to understand the organization you are going to. This is so important. If you want to ace your interviews, you need to understand the organization you're going to, like make sure you know exactly what the company is looking for and how. You can even reach out to somebody in the organization to advise you. Then you need to show off your ability, right? Show off your ability to upskill, which is what I spoke about. It is often overlooked. If you've been able to journey from accounting into tech, then you can do that role very well. And you have to show, provide testimonials, provide referrals, give them a background. That's what we do at Cloudboosta. Like people that go on that journey with us, the learning journey with us, we actually give you a referral for your next role. And that's how you can ace your interview. And then, so what's the next step for you? If you decide that you want to transition, you want to take advantage of your current skill set, your current background, join us at Cloudboosta. I'm not going to go into more details of that. Some of you have joined many of our webinars before. I'm just going to go straight into our questions, but you can definitely join us at Cloudboosta because ultimately, what we do at Cloudboosta is we provide a boot camp that has a structured program for you to actually build your technical competency, and we guide you through all the remaining soft skills that you need to land your dream job. Okay, we have 4 major pathways to landing your dream role at Cloudboosta. These are the pathways we take you through. We have the cloud computing pathway, which is 8 weeks, advanced levels pathway 8 weeks, platform engineer pathway 8 weeks, and site reliability engineer pathway for 8 weeks. The starting point is always cloud computing, and then we advise people to go into DevOps afterwards. So if you're interested in learning more, just reach out to one of our program advisors who will talk you through on that journey. But the program advisors' numbers will be in the chat box for you to contact if you're interested. But I just want to tell you that there are 12 major things that we do well at Cloudboosta, which people have commended us about. If you want to transition into this world, right? I don't just want to come here, give you information. You can actually transition into cloud from whatever background you are. If you need people to hold your hands, we are right here and we can hold your hands. At Cloudboosta, we give you a structured learning plan, right? You're with us every Saturday. We're teaching you. You have bespoke lab sessions. As you're learning theoretical tools, you're learning practical tools. You learn relevant tools. You have access to industry experts. You have motivation, accountability right in place at Cloudboosta. We hold your hands every week. We have drop-in sessions with you to guide you. If you have any issues with some of the things you've learned in class on Saturday or the assignments we've asked you to submit on Thursday, at Cloudboosta, all through you're working on group projects. You're building your soft skills in addition to the ones you have. Your time with us passes for relevant work experience. We have career support available. You have an internship opportunity, provided you're qualified for it, and there's support for alumni community as well. So if you want to be a part of what we do at Cloudboosta, just reach out to any of these numbers. They will give you all the information that you need. Ultimately, what I just want you to know tonight or this evening is that whatever field you're in, you actually have enough skills to transition, to move into the area of technology that you so desire. For us at Cloudboosta, we're skilled at helping you to transition into cloud computing and DevOps, right? Whatever area you are, accounting, law, whatever it is, you can transition and you have the right soft skills and the right background already. All you need to do is to build your technical proficiency on top of your soft skills and then find a bootcamp that can take you on the right journey. When you find the right bootcamp, you go ahead and make your profile visible. Let recruiters find you. After that, it's your interview preparation process. After that, you can land your dream job. So if you need us to hold your hands on that journey, we're right here. Please tell me if you have any questions at all, and I'll be willing to address everything one after the other. I'm just going to go straight into Slido right now to see if you have any questions for me. What's the cost of the bootcamp? Oh, please reach out to one of our program advisors and we will guide you appropriately on that. Okay. Some of you have been a part of our journey for a while. You know all of this details. Some of you don't know. Please just feel free as I'm speaking. Please feel free to chat one of our program advisors up and they will guide you on the next steps, okay? Does anyone have any questions on how you can transition? I mean, for me, my background was mechanical engineering. It's different, but there were some transferable skills, just like I'm sharing with you this evening. There were lots of transferable skills I could use, and it applies to every single skill, okay? Please reach out to one of our program advisors. We will be in touch with you. Please reach out to them. Just click on the WhatsApp link. They will give you all the necessary information that you need, okay? Reach out to one of our program advisors. Reach out to them to give you guidance on all the information that you need. I'm just going into the questions now to answer. Is this something I can learn from my phone or a low-spec laptop? Not everyone has the latest MacBook. I don't have the latest MacBook as well. You need a good laptop. You need a good laptop. You need a good functioning laptop. You cannot use your phone. I have to be honest with you. You cannot use your phone. You need a good functioning laptop, okay? I'm already in UK on a work visa. If I get a Cloud DevOps job offer, what happens to your current visa status? Do I need to restart the process? So if you get a job with a cloud computing job offer and they're willing to sponsor your visa, then you transfer your sponsorship to that company. Now takes on the role of sponsoring you. I've had situations like that before where I was already sponsored by a particular company and I wanted to move to another role. So the other role took on my sponsorship application. So they would now have to apply for you. And then once that comes through, then you move over to their own sponsorship instead, okay? What does relocation package actually look like for real? The companies pay for flights, accommodation, or just visa application process. All of this depends on the organization. But ultimately, you need to demonstrate sufficient value for a company to be able to invest this much in you. So you need to demonstrate sufficient value for companies to invest this much in you, okay? So some companies actually go ahead and just pay for everything. Some of them give you a relocation bonus. Some of them give you a relocation, but some of them pay for it, so it depends. I can't code and I have no interest in coding. Does Cloud DevOps require this? Because if it does, this probably isn't for me. My question for you is, why are you running away from coding? Coding is not for everyone, I understand, but in the world of cloud computing, you would need a little bit of coding experience. And we teach you from scratch, right? Whether you want to learn Linux, Bash, Python, whatever the case is, you can actually learn it from us, but you need a bit of coding because there's automation involved in what you're doing. So sometimes in my career as a DevOps professional, like, I mean, I didn't do coding as I had to learn it on the job, but what I found is that ability to understand code and interpret it can actually help you with troubleshooting, can help you with swapping things around. There are times that you need to deploy an infrastructure. The infrastructure code base is already online. Maybe it's open source, it's already online, but it's written in Python or Java. Sometimes you need to make tweaks. You need to tweak the code so that it works for the use case that you're using it for. In that case, your understanding of Python comes in, not to develop things from scratch most of the times. It's usually for you to be able to install, to be able to, enhance your journey as a cloud professional. So you need some level of understanding, but I don't want you to run away. Come on. You can learn it from scratch with us at Cloudboosta. You learned a beginner Python. Yeah, that's enough to start with, Michael. That is enough for you to start with. I've seen people online claiming they can in 3 months and got 70,000 jobs. Is that real, or is just content for algorithm? At Cloudboosta, we don't make such claims, right? Our program, we have a minimum of 8 weeks for your program with us. That's the pathway I was showing you about. So you can do cloud computing for 8 weeks and then you can get a job. But generally, we recommend that you do a minimum of 2 pathways, which is cloud computing and advanced DevOps. And then with that, you can land your dream job. So sometimes it is possible to get it in 3 months, but the level of work that you're going to do will be very rigorous. Because even our program that we always say, enroll for at least 2 pathways, and that's 60 weeks. It is so intense, especially if you're learning it from scratch. It is so intense. You always have to, show up for classes on Saturday. You have to learn, you have to keep growing and all of that. So I would say that it is possible. It's just the level of intensity that you go on it. There's actually nothing that is impossible. It depends. During that 3 months period, was the person working all through, or were they fully dedicated? Because we've built our program for busy professionals. So we have our classes on weekends. But if people go with a higher level of intensity, you can get it in a shorter time. But we say plan for at least, 4 to 5 months, 4 to 6 months, for you to learn, take your certification, apply for a job, and actually land your dream job. It could be shorter and it could be longer. Okay. I'm based in Kenya. Can I apply to Cloud DevOps jobs abroad from there? Oh, absolutely. Do you need to physically be in the country first? No. You just have to be good enough for the company to be willing to invest in your relocation, and all of that starts with finding the right bootcamp that will help you, building your technical competency, and then acing the process afterwards. Is there a pathway for cloud engineering? I don't know if it's the same as cloud computing. It's the same thing. It's the same thing, So cloud computing engineering, cloud engineering is absolutely the same thing, okay? If AI cannot write code and manage it, what exactly is the human cloud DevOps engineer doing that AI cannot replace? This is absolutely a brilliant question. There is a whole lot that a human cloud DevOps engineer is doing that AI cannot replace. When we had the conversation about AI, we did a full-blown webinar on this. I think it was 2 weeks ago or thereabout. But when we talked about this, one of the things I told people, which I've also seen in my work, like cloud DevOps, as much as is technical, is also very, very sensitive. We're talking about automation here. And sometimes we as DevOps engineers, we pride ourselves in, we automate systems, and sometimes we automate ourselves out of the job and we move on to the next project. First, cloud DevOps requires a lot of advanced technical thinking that there's only so much AI can do. We use AI in addition to partner with you to solve a problem, but AI cannot absolutely replace, because there's still a lot of human input that happens in the world of cloud DevOps. Now, the problem with doing a lot of automation in any field at all is that sometimes you get to a point, which is why some people are scared of robots, because sometimes you get to a point where the robot now becomes harmful for you. You don't want to build an AI system that at the end of the day, it becomes so rich and so self-sufficient that it ends up destroying itself, right? Something about DevOps is that with the click of a button, with one click, you can destroy an entire infrastructure. You can destroy everything that you've built. Like even us as humans, we pay a lot of attention to what we're developing and building before we actually deploy it, because we know that one wrong click can actually destroy everything. And that's the danger of not having a human input. So sometimes, even in the world of cloud, like even after sometimes we don't deploy until 2 human beings have reviewed. Humans, not AI or robots. No, we need humans to review until 2 people they've signed that because of how sensitive the nature. So things can easily go haywire. Things can easily get destroyed. We cannot, at the moment, and I don't even think we'll get there, where you can now go ahead and completely replace cloud DevOps engineers with AI professionals, and or with AI generally. And just like we say, AI, one of the biggest costs of AI right now is one of the biggest costs of AI is computing costs. And that's something that sits nicely within the world of cloud, which is why I was talking about cloud FinOps and all of that. So there's still a lot of rich untapped areas that cloud engineers still need to do to ensure that AI is as functional as it needs to be. So there's still many areas that have not been. And again, another thing I want you to look at is the trajectory, right? Look at the trends. When even tech companies tell you that they've laid off people, have you seen the kind of skills that they are laying off, right? Look at the trend of those kind of skills that they're saying that, oh, this is no more relevant, right? AI is going to replace that. And that's because of how critical. See, there are many things that AI cannot do, and there are many things that it can do, but the limitations that AI has, Cloud DevOps engineers are still able to are still able to fill those gaps very nicely, okay? And these are things that you can do research on as well. Okay, so what countries are most actively, and I'm going to wrap up with this question because I was meant to. What countries are most actively hiring and sponsoring cloud DevOps professionals right now? Where should I be focused? If not for there's a lot that is happening in the cloud computing space in the US, for example. But of course, that's if you already have a visa. If you don't have a visa, I think UK is the country that you can easily, explore. And that's because of we don't have all those visa bans. Even in Canada, there's a lot. Recently, I got approached with some roles in Canada. I'm like, I never thought of living in Canada, right? And so there are opportunities. There are opportunities in UK, there are opportunities in Canada, there are opportunities in the US if you already have the right permit to work in those areas. But if you don't have a permit to work, you can explore Canada, you can explore the US, the UK, right? You can explore Netherlands, you can explore European countries. Ultimately, like I say, the key thing is to be able to demonstrate values. And right where you are, if you're in Africa, you're in Nigeria, you're in Kenya, right where you are, you can also apply to jobs that are global, right from where you are. Okay, thank you so much for listening. Please reach out to one of our program advisors who is able to guide you on the next steps to follow. Okay, I wanted to focus more on you guys today and not just Cloudboosta. I wanted to focus on you. What are you doing at the moment? How can you apply what you're currently doing into the world of tech? So if you want to find out more about what we do at Cloudboosta, please go ahead and reach out to any of our program advisors. We're happy to have you on board. The purpose of all of this is to see how we can help you on your transition journey. Looking to move into the world of tech, we can assist, we can help you. We've helped many people and we can also help you as well. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I think I've answered all my questions right now on Slido. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you very much. And thank you very much. Amazing. Okay, I can see a comment. Glad to find out that I'm scaling my AI knowledge. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, please, definitely. Please keep going. Thank you so much. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. That brings us to the end of our conversation today. Don't forget to reach out to any of our program advisors who would be able to guide you. Can we have the numbers of program advisors again? Please reach out to any of our program advisors and they will be able to guide you on this journey, okay? They'll be able to give you more information about what we do at Cloudboosta and how we can help you on this journey. Don't be shy, just reach out to us. Reach out to us and be able to guide you on next steps. Thank you so much and enjoy your Friday night. I hope you have exciting plans. Who is shy? Oluwashola, good. The fact that you times that we are not shy, please reach out to us. Send us a message. Don't be shy. Enjoy your Friday. Oh, the meeting is over. You don't want to go and have fun on Friday night. Please enjoy your Friday. And thank you so